Alright guys, BLM here, we're back with another episode of Assassin's Creed Origins. The Hidden Ones, we're going to finish it up in this episode. It's pretty short. We started it last episode, we'll finish it this episode. So, yeah. Then we'll do Curse the Pharaohs tonight, and we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, so I mean, the Odyssey reviews are out right now. I was talking about this last episode about how I wanted to look up how the game reviewed compared to other games. I did that, and it's actually really interesting. Again, Odyssey's getting really good reviews, and it's really weird. But then again, I feel like it's getting really good reviews because it caters towards the general audience. It really caters towards people who are not Assassin's Creed fans. It obviously doesn't. It isn't really directly connected to any of the other Assassin's Creed games. And then also it's an open world ancient Greece RPG, which again sounds really cool. So it's like I shouldn't be as surprised as I am that I got good reviews, but but to be again, Assassin's Creed Origins got I believe in 82 or something like that, 81 maybe. Like it wasn't actually that high of a score, surprisingly. Because I mean, the only games that got higher reviews, got a higher aggregate score than Odyssey are AC2, AC Brotherhood, and Black Flag. And Black Flag's just like barely above it. So it's like, well, AC2 and Brotherhood are in the 90s. As that Odyssey's 86, I believe Black Flag is 88. And yeah, I'm going by the highest score on the console. Like by console, I mean, it's obviously like each it's really weird how this works. Where like obviously it's because like there are certain companies that only review Xbox One games. There's certain companies that only review PS4 games. So it's like that's why the numbers are a bit different, even though they're the same game. Okay. Ooh. We have their leader. Okay. Thank God they kidnapped us in a bathrobe. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's interesting because again, like every other game in the series, like this puts it at 4 out of 11, which is pretty good. I mean, again, the only ones that are above it are those, and then like. I mean, think of like all the other Assassin's Creed games. AC1, I think is like an 81, which is like reasonable, especially for the time. I think obviously nowadays, like if it were to come out the way it is, it's probably more like a 7 out of 10 or 7, like a 70 out of 100. But it's like at the time, yeah, 81 isn't too bad. AC3 kind of surprised me because AC3 is at 85, so it's actually pretty fucking close. But again, there was just so much hype for AC3 at the time, and again, at the time, from a gameplay perspective, like it didn't disappoint most reviewers. But obviously it had a lot of problems narratively and whatever else, but still. Like, I mean, like, yeah, critics didn't hate AC3, even though AC3 isn't well liked nowadays. I'll tell you all. Yeah, I love this. Yeah, here comes Aya. Or sorry, Amunat. There we go.
Amulet. Put some clothes on. Show some decency.
Yeah, I said this before. I never found Aya that attractive in the main game, but yeah, she's pretty sexy here though. Yeah. To be honest, she kind of looks like they made her look more like Cleopatra to a degree. Like in terms of her hairstyle and everything.
They are imprisoned in Fort Klostra.
I will head straight in.
I will check the perimeter. There are centurions everywhere.
Yeah, like we're supposed to have our armor back, and it's like we have the exact same fucking clothes on because we were wearing the bathrobes to begin with. Like all we did is put a towel on our head. All right, let's do this. This could get annoying just because of the technicality of like certain things here. But we'll see. Oh yeah, it's annoying to get in too. That's another annoying thing. How do we get in? Like obviously there's like certain like gaps that you can go through. But can we like climb up here and then jump down? Yeah, we can. Okay, just making sure. Oh fuck! Are you fucking serious? What the fuck? So yeah, I mean like. Yeah, AC Revelations got pretty bad reviews at the time. I mean, not bad, but it's like 70. I think it was like 7.5s sort of thing. I think it has like a 78 or something on Metacritic. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, again, we're just gonna run in. I'm not. Wait, we got another skill point? Okay. So I'm pretty sure we're getting so many skill points because just the amount of XP that they give you for this mission is like ridiculous.
Thank God you are here. This fort was designed by Osiris.
It is madness.
Ah.
Zahira is badly burned. I fear for her life. They took her away.
Follow me. Be ready to fight.
I do need. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be less fun when we get to Curse of the Pharaohs, where obviously we're gonna need to play a bit more cautiously due to our level actually being pretty close to what it's supposed to be at that point. What the fuck? No. Ah, fuck off. Ah. There we go. Ah, fuck off. Okay, whatever. There we go. Okay. Okay. Escort him out. We should be good. So yeah, what other games were there? Yeah, and then obviously Rogue got pretty bad reviews even for a time. I got like 70, I think, somewhere on there, like low 70s. Then obviously Unity got actually, to me, Unity got better reviews than people like to think, though. I mean, obviously when people think of Unity, they
Make haste, Bayek.
they think it got completely like butchered in the review scores, but really, I mean, it got 70s. Like, it got like 7.5s and stuff like that. So it's like, that's not terrible. I mean, to be honest, Unity's not a bad game. I mean, the problem with Unity is just the glitches. And again, now that it's been patched up and everything, I think Unity is actually a much better game than people like to give credit for. But it is still a flawed game. It's not obviously not a perfect game by any means. It's not really like a great Assassin's Creed game by any means either. Even though I mean, there's some stuff in there that's really fucking great. Like a lot of the assassination stuff, the combat system I think is really good. Yeah, something that I noticed about, which I always knew that because they talk about this, that obviously the inspiration for Unity was that they wanted to go back to basics and go back to AC1. But I never noticed until like just these last couple times I played the game just how much they did so. With like obviously the combat system being pretty much just an enhanced version of AC1's combat. And then obviously you know by the assassinations and everything being the black box missions. But yeah, I mean, I do really like Unity. I do think it's a shame that I mean, they fucked it up. I mean, like again, like I'm not gonna criticize people's opinions of Unity because obviously it's warranted for at the time. But I think obviously you got to criticize Ubisoft for allowing a game that unfinished to be released. Which again, I think they've learned their lesson to a degree. I don't think they are going to ever release a game. Like I feel like they understand now that they don't necessarily need a game every year. Like or they don't need to release a game at the same time every year and that sort of thing. I feel like they're okay now with like if like in a, like, I think if the next Assassin's Creed game like was not finished, like was not going to be finished, or like let's just say like if Origins like was not going to be finished by like October 27th or whatever it came out last year, I think they would have been okay with like moving it to like March or something. I feel like that's something that they're more willing to do nowadays than that they weren't, because I think at the time obviously they had the set schedule. Assassin's Creed games come out October, November, then and then, like, usually they have, like, 2 major games a year. One comes out October, November, somewhere in that range, which was Assassin's Creed. And then some other franchise would have a game, like, around March. Around March. Sometimes in May, I believe that's when, that other game, was it the Watch Dogs and stuff came out, but, whatever. But yeah, no Assassin's Creed game for next year, so that's cool. Yeah, I don't feel like we need an Assassin's Creed game every year. I feel like every other year is just fine. Mind you, if the ending is good, I'll probably be disappointed that there's no Assassin's Creed game next year. Because that's why, like, I never had a problem with Assassin's Creed games every year back then, just because, again, I wanted the narrative. Like, I wanted more of the narrative. I didn't really care if the game was that great or not. I wanted more of the modern day. And like obviously they stopped doing that by the time we got to, especially by Unity and Rogue. But even 4, obviously modern day wasn't as important.
Neck, why gods? Do not take my great sister.
Even though she's sitting up on the fucking horse. Yeah, isn't that kind of ridiculous? Like she's almost dead, yet she's still like sitting up on the fucking horse.
We must have a traitor.
Like she's literally gonna die when we get there. Yeah, it's like she can still sit up.
Swear an oath. We have been played for workers.
All. Are you sure of this? We can no longer trust anyone.
Our wisdom is faltering.
Yeah, I really like this.
Same happened with Brutus and Cassius. The more known we are, the less safe the Brotherhood is.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I do like how this game is also like kind of like the foundation for a lot of the ideals in Assassin's Creed, in terms of like how the Brotherhood is run and everything. Obviously, I feel like they could have done more with another game, but man, they're not gonna do it. Yeah, it's such a shame they wasted Bayek as a character, because again, he had such potential, and even like even like Arno. I think Arno is another character that had such potential, and they just wasted it. Like, I think if we got a second Arno game, which even if he was well received, I don't think he would have gotten one anyway, just because the game of Unity as a whole was so poorly received. Fuck. What was my other one? Oh, it's a light bow. Why do I have a light bow equipped? Oh, that was a good one. Oh, it's a fire light bow. That's pretty awesome. I don't remember having that. No. Yeah, this is always a glitchy sort of section in the game too. By the way, like it doesn't really work super well. Oh shit. And then what? Yeah, it's Unity. So I went through that. Rogue. Yeah, so all that's left is Syndicate that I haven't talked about. Which yeah, Syndicate actually got lower reviews than I remember, because I remember Syndicate getting a lot of praise back in the day from critics and stuff. But I looked at the Metacritic score. It's actually at 78, I think, which is lower than I thought it would be. Because again, like Syndicate, even though it's not well loved by the Assassin's Creed community, from the general audience, like it's a well-liked game.
She is invaluable to maintaining Nabatea.
Is she? Yeah, probably actually.
I must go back for Tahira.
She's on my fucking horse. What the fuck are you talking about? We're almost there, I believe. It's up there, isn't it? I don't know. No, actually, that's an interesting topic. I think we might as well talk about this. Is like the general reception to Assassin's Creed, because obviously, like I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. I'm part of the I follow the Assassin's Creed community, so I pretty much know what the community thinks in general of these games. But I think it's interesting to think of like what does the general public think of these games, because again, it's usually a big difference. Because again, the thing about me is that usually with a lot of things, I'm not a casual with a lot of things. I usually focus on things and I become like really, really into those things. Like, because it just kind of disturbs me to not be into those things. Like, I get like something like Big Brother, something like Survivor, something like Assassin's Creed, something like what else is there? Whatever else. But it's like usually with like something I usually either go all in or I don't go in at all. That's essentially how I usually am.
As loyal as a mountain.
We built something I believe in.
I like something like Sasuke in American Ninja Warrior or something. But
Fast oath taker, savior to many, and a hidden one.
Don't let our creed fade.
okay. Yeah, it's just Tahira and Aya never have any dialogue together, do they? Even though they're in this, like, this is what, the second scene they're together. Like, obviously here in the Hidden Ones, and then also in the main game when they're when Bayek forms the Brotherhood.
Everyone. Only romance.
You will take Tahira to the mountains. Somewhere she can be given a proper burial. We will carry on. Let us kill Rufio.
Wait, I forgot, Bayek's older than Naya, right? Like, he's like a few years older. Not that it really matters, but still. Okay. Let's go.
Tahira's death sends a clear message.
Which, yeah, this mission is annoying if you're not leveled up enough. Like, this level, and this sequence, I know this sequence, this memory is fucking brutal if you're not leveled up enough. Like, we did this on the replay we did of Assassin's Creed Origins, where we kind of rushed through the,
And cutting true fear into
what was
the
it?
heart of it.
We, like, started anew, though. Like, we started from the beginning and did side quests and, like, tried to do things as early as possible. And this mission was fucking brutal during that. Like, we died, like, at the battle before you assassinate Rufio, like, a billion times. By a billion, I mean probably, like, 10 or 15 times, but still, a lot. And that's why I think that ended up being a 3-parter because of it.
Rome chaos.
Like, of the Hidden Ones, because it was supposed to be like a 2-parter, like we could like
Rome
this,
is a cracked wall.
but because
A drunk, a sociopath, and the leader of the Order. Octavian scares us all. Rufio left from under my watch.
I never noticed that. They mentioned that
At the Bureau.
the Order of the Ancients is run by Octavian. I didn't even notice that.
What of Memphis?
The hidden ones are fine. But with no clear pharaoh, we are lost. I worry our temples have been sold away. And then, there is Cleopatra.
She has brought prosperity to Alexandria. This I cannot deny. It is her lover's army that bothers us. Bayek! Bayek! Quick! You must help us!
Alright, so it's this fight that I was talking about. That is pretty difficult if you're not leveled up enough. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Ah, fuck. No! What the fuck? But yeah, like, obviously AC1 when it came out, it was looked at pretty, I mean, it was looked at fondly, right? I mean, like, the thing about AC1, oh yeah, I forgot, we have a skill point, so let's do that. Obviously, it was also looked at as very repetitive, and obviously the modern day stuff was not well liked at the time, which is, I mean, to be honest, it's still not well liked by the general public. It never has been, and I think that's what really separates the general public from the like hardcore Assassin's Creed fans, is the modern day. I feel like, because I feel like there's very few people that are hardcore Assassin's Creed fans that dislike the modern day. There are some, but I don't feel like there's many. But I feel like most of the general public does not particularly like the modern day. It is what it is. Again, that's, I mean, to be fair, like, I mean, to be honest, the modern day is what kept me to Assassin's Creed. And like, with that gone, the only thing I'm here for at this point is gameplay, is like the fun gameplay. Because yeah, I do love this game. I have so much fun here with Origins. And like, even though, again, narrative, even though modern day wise it's a piece of shit, it's still a fun game.
This is a bloody massacre.
Defend the Nabateans!
Ah,
This
fuck.
is madness. Why are they killing civilians?
Something is not right.
Okay, so what, 6 more guys? Boom. Okay. Actually, no, more than that. Holy shit, there's actually a good amount. Shit, we're already 21 minutes into this. And either way, we're still gonna finish this around the 45 minute mark, I think. But yeah, AC2, obviously, when it came out, it was well received. Again, people didn't love the modern day in it, but still, I mean, overall, like, AC2 is definitely the highest the series has been. Brotherhood came out, again, Brotherhood was well received too. I think there were people that were thinking, like, why do we need this game? But overall, again, well received, got great reviews, obviously. People love the modern day. Some people even bought the game solely for the modern day. I don't know, the modern, what am I talking about? Not modern day, multiplayer, what the fuck am I talking about? Multiplayer, sorry. People love the multiplayer, and people played it solely for the multiplayer. That's what I meant to say. Again, people just never loved the modern day, though, even though I never heard anyone complain about the modern day, though, in Brotherhood, even though it is the most modern day up to that point. Obviously 3 has more, but either way. Then Revelations was not well liked at its release, and to be honest, I didn't particularly like. Actually, maybe that's something we should talk about too, is my opinions of Assassin's Creed games when they were released, because obviously they're different than what they are now. Again, like AC1, I fucking loved AC1. Yes, it was repetitive, but I fucking loved AC1 when I first played it. I love the philosophy, I love the gameplay of the like parkour sort of based stuff, because that wasn't really a thing back then. I mean, there weren't many games that had like a parkour sort of system to navigate around the open world and stuff. Obviously, it's much more common now. But at the time, it wasn't super common. I'm trying to think of like what other game was there. I mean, like what, like Mark Echo's getting up under pressure, whatever the fuck that game's called. Like is that really like the first thing that comes to mind? It's like, I mean, there really isn't much before Assassin's Creed. I mean, Mirror's Edge, but Mirror's Edge is a year after Assassin's Creed, right? So that's 2008. So yeah. Oh fuck, we don't have enough to stealth kill him? Holy shit. He's pretty strong then.
This is Botahira.
You will not break me down.
Shut your mouth, Rufio.
You are not a man at all, less than a fly. The hidden ones are dead.
Alright, there we go. So, I forgot, what years does this take place in? I always forget. Because obviously this is after Caesar died. Like, obviously it's after the end of the game. So it's like, what years? Is it 38? I feel like that's coming to my mind for some reason. Yeah, because it's like 10 years later, right? Oh, garbage just picked up. Alright. But yeah, that's something else that's weird about this. Again, is that technically, I believe Curse of the Pharaohs takes place before the Hidden Ones. Though, I mean, they both take place in the same year, but it's still, it's kind of weird. That and also the fact that Amar doesn't even know when fucking Curse of the Pharaohs took place, which was funny. Because again, like, I believed Amar. Like, Amar said, oh, the Curse of the Pharaohs takes place like a few months after. But it turns out he was wrong. Like, he doesn't even know his own fucking franchise when he's head of fucking content of Assassin's Creed. It's like, it's so funny. It's like, what a fucking dumbass. Like, really. Ah, did I finish my drink? Shit. Alright, oh well. AC2, obviously I loved it as a kid too. I remember like playing AC1 and thinking, how is there going to be a game better than this? Like, how could there be a better assassin than Altair? And then obviously AC2 just blew it out of the water. AC2 is perfect at the time. Like for me at the time. Even though I got really frustrated with the tailing missions. I mean, I will say that. But, really loved AC2. Loved the modern day stuff. Like obviously like when Minerva appears, that fucking blew my mind at the time. Really loved that. Brotherhood. I already talked about this when we played Brotherhood too. I adored Brotherhood at the time. I really did. I always liked Brotherhood more than 2. I don't think there was ever a point where I would have said I like 2 more than Brotherhood. And it's still that way now. I still think now Brotherhood's probably my favorite game in the series. And to be honest, 2, I mentioned this before in my Assassin's Creed rank. 2 is in the middle of the road for me. I know a lot of people have it at like number 2 or 1 or 2. I have it at number 5, so yeah. But Brotherhood's really great, obviously. I mean, and again, like, as I said, got positive reception at the time. Revelations did not get great. I didn't like Revelations at the time. Obviously, I really loved the Ezio Altair like epilogue to their story sort of thing. I like the greater good, the final mission here. But I did like obviously the ending. But I did not like Revelations at the time. It's kind of funny in retrospect because now Revelations, I have it ranked above AC2. I have it at number 4. And I really love Revelations. Revelations is, yeah, I really love Revelations nowadays. But again, just at the time, I did not appreciate it. So I do think, like, if I were, like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do a ranking based off of what my impressions were when they came out. Because obviously now my ranking is Brotherhood. Should be Origins number 2. I don't know. That's kind of tough, actually. Yeah, I think Brotherhood, Origins, Black Flag, Revelations, 2, Unity, 3, Syndicate, 1, and then Rogue. Yeah, but by the time, like at the time of release, I think so far it's Brotherhood 2, 1, and Revelations being at the bottom out of the games, based on my opinion of them at the release. Then you got 3, and 3 obviously like public, like general reception was very mixed. There are people that love 3, there are people that dislike 3, and it's still that way now. I feel like it's still that way. I obviously 3 is looked at as like a glitchy mess, which it is to a degree, but definitely not. Obviously Unity is worse. But yeah, my opinion of 3, I always loved 3. I loved 3 when I first played it. I was a big defender of 3 for a very long time. But I think like my last playthrough of it, and then more of it, like after analyzing like just the game in general, it just made me realize it's really not that good. And that's why I have it now. I have it ranked 7. When like if you asked me like a few years ago, I would have had it at like 3 or 4.
He fights for the people's freedom.
Yeah, that's.
You and I just witnessed a massacre.
Wait, did she change
I've
robes?
spoken to the villagers. There have been many such massacres.
So I mean, again, based off when it came out, though, I think 3 would be. It would probably be below 2, right? I don't think I ever thought of 3 as better than 2 in Brotherhood, but yeah, I think it's definitely better than 1 in Revelations, my opinion of them at the time. So yeah. And then Black Flag. Black Flag is interesting because again, Black Flag is one that I liked when it first came out. I really was annoyed by its naval missions, but nowadays I love it more than I did then. Though it kind of like right now I'm not at my peak of when I thought Rogue. And there's a point where I thought Rogue was the best Assassin's Creed game, and I think there would have been debate for. I don't know what the fuck am I talking? 4 being my favorite Assassin's Creed game, and 4 being one of my all-time favorite, probably my all-time favorite game. Now, obviously, that's gone down. I have it ranked 3 right now. I think at the time, really, I would have, at the time that 4 came out, I would have said 3 is better than 4. Am I saying whatever? Yeah, I would say 3 was better than 4 at the time that it came out. For me, again. And to be honest, I might have even had it lower than 1. Like, I really did not. I did not love Black Flag when it came out, just because I did not care for the naval missions. Again, narrative-wise, it was good. But even at the time, I didn't really respect like Edward's character arc as much as I do now. So I do think at the time, like based off when it was released, I think 4 would be just above Revelations. If it might even be at the bottom. I really didn't love 4 at the time of release. Again, this is solely based off of like my first playthrough of the game. Then you got Rogue, which obviously Rogue reception-wise from the public was never great. From the general public, mind you, a lot of the general public did not play Rogue, so that's kind of the difference here. Super fans, it's kind of it's mixed as well, though there are some people that are very big Rogue supporters. And to be honest, I used to be one as well. Again, like through time and just replaying Rogue, it kind of makes you realize that yeah, it's just not that good.
Is he leading the rebellion for personal power?
So yeah, I do have Rogue as my least favorite Assassin's Creed game right now, and I think it's staying that way. But at the time, I really liked Rogue. I didn't like. I would say I would have it like below 3, right, based off my initial reception. Because I really liked Rogue. I really loved Shay. I thought the modern day was not complete shit, which now I think it kind of is. No, it's weird though. I don't know. It's weird with Rogue. In Unity, I did not like Unity when it came out. Obviously, people did not like Unity in general either. I think general reception for Unity has gone up now due to patches, but the thing is, most of the general public have not played it since, and also just remember it for the memes of like the invisible face and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Unity's not great. What the fuck? Is she stuck? All right. Unity was not great at the time, and too, I didn't care for Unity either when I first played it. A lot of it being due to the fact that there was no modern day. I think I definitely would have had Unity at the bottom at that time.
Full of intrigue, deceit, and corruption. The perfect city for a hidden one.
And again, this seems like there's so many things in this game that like they make you think that it's like set up for a Bayek sequel, but then we're never getting one. So whatever.
I might do that. It is ahead.
He will be surrounded by his rebels.
They see him as a god. You cannot challenge him in front of them.
Okay. And then Syndicate. Yeah, Syndicate at the time was very well received by the general public. It's still very well received by the general public. And I never saw it. Syndicate is the lowest I think I've ever been on Assassin's Creed Real. Actually, no, to be fair, I think I might have been lower on Unity the first time I played Unity. Or first time like I saw a Let's Play of Unity, I should say. Because it's the same thing with Syndicate, because it's like I didn't own a PS4 at the time, so I just watched a Let's Play of it instead. But I think Unity and Syndicate are the two lowest I've ever been on the Assassin's Creed games, based off of the initial time I played them. Obviously now my opinion of them have gone up a little bit. With Syndicate, not as much, but with Unity definitely. Yeah, then obviously Origins. I mean, Origins is great. Even the first time I played it, I adored Origins. I think really, the first time I played Origins, it might be number 1 on the list for what I thought of it the first time I played the game. I adored Origins, and I still do. Again, I think Brotherhood is overall a better Assassin's Creed game. And to be honest, I do think like the thing about Origins, like I think like Brotherhood had its own identity. Well, I feel like a lot of Origins is like taking from other games, and like while I do feel like Brotherhood was more original in its ideas, but still, Origins is still really good. And then we'll see where Odyssey places. Again, like based off what people are saying about Odyssey, I'm assuming it's going to be at least a middle tier game. I don't see it being a top tier game for me, but we'll see. It'll definitely be, I think it'll be within that top 6, though. I don't think it'll be in that bottom tier.
Innocent villagers have died.
I have exposed the vile cruelty of the Romans. Those martyrs have inspired countless warriors to continue the fight.
Martyrs?
What are the lives of a few villagers in light of freedom for all?
The lives of a few villagers? They had no choice in the matter.
Bayek, don't be absurd. We fight on the same side.
No. Yeah.
Yes, great. I really love this DLC. And it just feels like a movie, essentially. I mean, it just feels like a Bayek sequel movie sort of thing. Again, like, I would have been fine if like I feel like obviously Origins is kind of like the AC2, like it's the origin sort of story for Bayek. That like reveals all of his motivations and his backstory. And I feel like that's all we really need from that. And then we got. Okay, wait. Ah, so close.
Once and for all.
To be honest, we could have probably won already if we had Hepzibah's blade equipped instead. Considering.
You have become a torch for the cause.
There we go, we did it. Wow, he didn't even knock us off. Alright. What was I talking about? I forgot already.
There is freedom. There is the life of innocence. Both must be balanced on the scale.
It is now my heart that will lie upon the scale of Anubis.
Your heart beat too strongly in favor of its cause. The innocent must always be protected.
My ardor shone like sun in my eyes, blinding me. You have done right by me. I accept his death.
From this day, no hidden one will raise a sword against the
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I feel like Origins is like the origin story of Bayek, but I feel like this is like the brotherhood of Bayek, where we see him further reinforce his brotherhood, see him build up his ideals, and I feel like all we need is a Revelations. We could have had him go to Rome, have his Revelation story, finish up his story of Aya, finish up everything with Bayek, and I think Bayek would be the best Assassin's Creed protagonist at that point. But instead, we were getting Odyssey. So, whatever, I guess. Okay.
The greatest of leaders, Gamilat, is now dead. And his story lives on in the warriors of the Sinai. He could kill 1,000,000 tyrants with one breath. The divine arrow. The great Gamilat is no longer.
Should we kill their dreams?
Let them have their heroes. For now, the hidden ones are forgotten. This is to our favor. Gamilat's death serves a higher cause.
No more senseless martyrs.
Have we done good?
But yeah, I do feel like in a way this could have been the ending of Bayek's story. But I do feel like we could have had a Revelation story. Wow. Yeah, I'm reading like I'm looking at a Reddit post that people are comparing the Assassin's Creed review scores, and like a lot of people are talking about Unity, And like a lot of people call Unity's story boring, and like that's the thing. I don't find Unity's story boring at all. I really like Unity's story. I've talked about this on Unity. That's probably my favorite part of Unity is Unity's story. Like it's like Arno's character arc throughout that. Like Arno and Lisa's sort of like the difference in ideals between the two of them and how they go about exacting. Obviously, Elise wants revenge, Arno wants redemption. They're both going after the same goal, but for completely different reasons. And I feel like I really like the narrative. And like a lot of people are complaining about like, oh, Unity, oh, it wasted its French Revolution setting. You would not even know it's in the French Revolution. It's like, what? You want fucking AC3? You want Connor to be in every fucking little thing? You want it to be like Arno's in every little fucking thing, like Connor? Like, I think that's so much worse. I feel like they did it perfectly, where it's like, Arno is like, he's involved with like some of the major figures. He's all involved with like Robespierre, and like Marquis de Sade and whatever. But he's also there for the execution of King Louis. He's involved with Napoleon. He meets Napoleon, that sort of stuff. Like I feel like it's enough. I feel like it's like the perfect amount, really. Like so, to see that people are like complaining about that. I've seen complaints about this obviously before. It's not like this is the first time, but I've never actually talked about it on the channel. I feel like that's such a ridiculous argument, though. Yeah, because then, like, people also complain about 3, and I complain about 3, where it's like so fucking ridiculous because it's like Connor's involved in like every fucking little thing that happened in American Revolution. It's like, why? And like, who the fuck wanted this? Like, it's really so much worse being the other way, but whatever. Here we go. Dump the hidden ones. So yeah, again, this is pretty much the end of Bayek's story, as far as we know at this point. Because again, Curse of Pharaohs, 1, it takes place before, but even if it took place after, nothing happens. And Curse of the Pharaohs that has anything to do with the base game. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, would love a Bayek sequel, but it's not coming. It's just a shame, but it is what it is. I would love.
Mysterious poem. Later I will explore the Temple of Thoth.
Got another skill point. Got the Bow of Ra. Is that what we're using? I actually don't know. What are we using? Yeah, we are. We have 3 of them? I guess that's technically from the New Game Plus over and over and over again, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Episode of Sword. Alright. So, something else we will do is we'll activate that. Oh, do we just fast travel to Thebes? Oh no, you have to go. Okay, you have to go to the. Oh, you have to do this. Or can you just fast travel there? I guess you can just fast travel there. All right, we'll do that in the next episode. Obviously, next episode we will, or next time we record, which I won't be doing right now. I don't think. We will go ahead and do Curse of the Pharaohs. Yeah, I don't have time really to do it right now. We'll do Curse of the Pharaohs later. So yeah. We'll do that, but that's it for the hidden ones. Thanks for watching.